Mostly my mom and dad. They noticed a huge difference. Just after the first day, like I was already starting to speak clear. Like every time I hit like a rough patch, like I did what you said, and I didn't repeat anything. I just kept on talking over and over. I had to go to work Saturday morning from 8 to 10 o'clock, and my NCO, which is like my leader and my like person that's in charge of me, whatever, he could notice the difference, and he let me know that too, so that was pretty cool. I've had a speech impediment since I was about 4 years old. I've seen a few speech therapists over my life. I saw one when I was in the 5th grade, and it didn't work so well. I saw one just like 3 years ago, maybe. And you know, it's just hard to communicate. It's hard to call somebody on the phone. T, tall, Tawny, taxi, Eileen, dilemma, Dylan, dilettante, diligence, kabuki, cafe, Kaiser, Kalesamine, kaolin, kappa, caracol, Sabbath, sabbatical, sabbat, sabotage, saboteur, crash, Rosaire, I should have done much better. I'm a failure. You're arrogant. You're late because you don't care. It's your fault. These thoughts severely limit a person's ability to enjoy his or her life. Negative thoughts cause you to feel internal discomfort or pain, and they often cause you to behave in ways that alienate you from other people. Thoughts have actual physical properties. When your mind is burdened with many negative thoughts, it affects your deep limbic system and causes deep limbic problems. Irritability, moodiness, teaching yourself to control and direct thoughts in a positive way. I think it's mostly saying like your thoughts have a lot of control on how you feel. That's about it.
Okay.
I'm looking at two men on the screen, and now it's one man. He's in a black suit, and now there's three men on the screen. I can't really tell what they're talking about, but this is on CNN. And now we have some numbers. It looks like 39%. Let's see. They're all wearing gold ties. And now President Barack Obama is on the screen, and it looks like they're at an airport, and now they're on a plane, and now there's a commercial, and there's this girl at the gym. Before the class, I was constantly stuttering on the words. I remember reading from the dictionary, and like we got to a certain sound, and I just couldn't say it over and over. So I was stuttering pretty bad on that part. Now it's like really easy to say. Terror, terrorism, terrorize, terry, terse, tertiary, Tesla, tessellate, tessera, test, testament, testate, testator, test drive, tester, testify, testimonial, testimony, testosterone, darnell, darting needle, dart, darter, dartle, darvon, dash, dashboard, dasher, dashiki, dashing, dashpot, dastard, data, database, kava, Kawasaki disease, kayak, KO, kazoo, kedge, keel, keelhaul, keen, keep, keepsake, keyshound, kiefer, keg, kegler, kelp. No branch of any other nation's armed forces has the same cachet or commands the same level of respect as the United States Army. For one, it is an absolute alleviation. The Army is the main branch of the United States military. It's also the oldest and the largest, with more than 1.1 million soldiers in its ranks stationed across 1,900 installations worldwide. The Army proves that there is strength in numbers. If the U.S. Army were a city, it would be the 10th largest in the country. The numbers alone won't win a war, which is why soldiers receive training that is both varied and tailored specifically to combat scenarios. And at the core of their basic training are 7 values that define both our soldiers and the nation they defend: loyalty, duty, respect, self-service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. So, talking about the Army, how there's 1.1 million soldiers in the Army, which would be the 10th largest city in the country if they were added up all the way. They're talking about the 7 core values, which is loyalty, duty, respect, self-service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. It's basically saying, like, the heart of the Army is their core values, and that's about it. Okay, right now we're on a commercial. There's a kid that's carrying a tuba, again, and they're talking about how you can set your phone up as a Wi-Fi hotspot. And now there's a kid playing in front of an audience with his tuba. It's actually a Droid Razor commercial by Verizon, so I was wrong. It's not AT&T. Now they're talking about Whirlpool washing dryers. Now it's a Rent-A-Center commercial. Now there's a guy going down an escalator, and he's got one of those electronic helicopters that he's playing around with. It looks like a cereal commercial, maybe? Or no, it's a Velveeta cheese commercial. Now there's a commercial about Bacardi, and they're going around all these different places. They're showing Bacardi bottles. Now there's a man on the sea. They're talking about the smooth spice rum of Bacardi. Now there's a commercial, and there's a boat, and there's a printer that just printed out something. And the setting is like right next to some mountains. Now there are people climbing into a boat. Now there's a guy fishing. There's a boat on the ocean. They're talking about HP printers. Now there's a commercial about football. The first time I started stuttering was when I was 4 years old. I went on a fishing trip and they videotaped me, and so like a few years later I looked back at that videotape and I saw that I had a really bad stutter, and I guess that's when I first realized that I had a stutter. And then in 5th grade I switched schools and I started to see a speech pathologist, and they were trying to work with me, but they would pull me out of class, which was always embarrassing. And I remember in 5th grade, I would read in front of the class and I would have problems. And then the teacher would call on somebody else to read, and I was always embarrassed about that. And then I moved on, and then towards high school, my stutter really wasn't that bad. I had plenty of friends, I played sports. People were always encouraging to me. They understood me. So it basically wasn't a big deal in high school or even my first few years of college. And then I joined the Army back in 2008, and that's when things just started to spiral out of control. Because in the Army, you have to learn how to sound off. You have to voice your opinion right on the spot, basically. And I remember in the Army, we lined up in platoons, and we had to go down the line, say our last name, like sound off our last name just for like the roll call or whatever it was. And they would get to me, and I try to say my last name, Albers, which it is, and I would get stuck. I would say it over and over again. And then finally the person next to me would help me out, I guess, and say my last name for me. So that was always embarrassing. I hated that part. I would always get really nervous in front of everybody. And then as basic training rolled on, you know, the drill sergeants, because they're drill sergeants, they're mean. Like, they like to make fun of people and stuff. Like, they would always make fun of my stutter. And, like, they would talk to me, like, just make jokes and stuff. And I tried to take it as best as I could, but it was always, like, it always hurt me, definitely a little bit. And then I remember one point towards the end of basic training, the first sergeant walked up to us because I was on duty at the front desk with another soldier, and we had to call it at ease when he walked up. And since the other guy wasn't paying attention, I saw him first. And when he walked up, like, I tried to say at ease, because you gotta yell it out for everybody here. And I couldn't get it out. So, of course, the first sergeant makes a huge deal out of it. It's like, what's your problem, soldier? Why can't you say this? I'm like, sorry, I have a speech impediment, you know. I can't get it out right now. I'm sorry. And then, of course, the drill sergeant next to me started to yell at me. Like, why didn't you yell at ease from? I tried to explain it over and over again. And then finally, they did a thing that they call smoking, which is like corrective training, and which is like you have to do like a lot of push-ups and sit-ups or whatever until like your arms are completely sore and numb. So I have to do push-ups while I'm saying at ease over and over again. I had to yell it out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was definitely an embarrassing moment. And 3 days ago, I struggled really hard answering one-word questions. And now it's definitely easier.
What do you know about computers?
Computers are used to look up information.
How old are you?
24.
What do you know about electricity?
Electricity supplies power to everything.
What is your name?
Darin Alpers.
Are you married?
Single.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Not at the moment.
Where do you live?
Georgia.
What is your favorite football team?
Chicago Bears.
What is your favorite sport?
Baseball.
What do you know about baseball?
It's been around for over 100 years. They don't use a clock in baseball.
What is the name of your elementary teacher?
Mrs. Handyside.
What is your favorite food?
Pizza.
How do you get to work?
Walk.
What kind of car do you have?
On the Civic.
What's the color of your shirt?
White. Another movie I like is Limitless. I forgot the guy who plays in it off the top of my head. I think it's Bradley Cooper. But it's a really good movie. It's about this guy who gets some miraculous drug that he takes that makes his mind function at 100%. Because you know how they say, like, you only use 10% of your mind in, like, all situations. Well, this drug helps to use all of your mind. And he used to be a guy that was really poor. He didn't have a good job or anything. And once he took that drug, his mind functioned at 100%. He was able to learn different languages. He was able to learn how to manage money better. And so he ended up becoming a really rich person with a lot of girlfriends, and he was really popular, and he learned all these different languages. And after a while in the movie, the drug starts to have some side effects, and he loses his memory and he blacks out and he forgets stuff. And then towards the end of the movie, he becomes more desperate for that drug, and he just needs more of it. And I thought that was a pretty good movie. That's one of my favorites. I put my skis back on, and I decided, okay, that was fun. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep going downhill. So I go downhill, and as I'm going, I'm picking up speed. I'm going fast as hell, and I get really scared. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall. And then there's a tree coming. And then as I get to the tree, I do a quick right, and I go past the tree. I feel like I'm going like 45 to 50 miles an hour downhill. It's just going crazy. I'm like, oh, I really don't want to fall right now, because if I fall, it's going to hurt really bad. But I managed to get to the bottom of the hill, and I just feel a huge adrenaline rush over me. It's like, wow, that was awesome. I can't believe I did that. I'm going to go up and I'm going to do it again, because that was fun. I get to the bottom of the hill, and at the bottom of the hill, there's a shack where I can buy hot chocolate and I can get some food to eat. Because now it's about noon time. So as I sit down, I eat a ton. Like, I just keep eating and eating, because skiing, like, just takes, like, all the energy out of you, and you gotta supply your body with all this food and all this nourishment so you can have a more fun day of skiing.
How do you estimate the progress you've had in 3 days in your speech?
My speech is definitely better. I'm still having some rough patches that I run into, but you guys are always here to talk to, and appreciate that. Before the program, like, there's no way I would have done the things that I've done over the past 3 days, like call a bunch of people and, you know, go through the regular line at a grocery store and go to like Starbucks, because they always ask for your name so they can put it on your cup. So it's definitely helped increase my confidence. Yeah. Some of the conversations I had on the phone were like a half hour long easily. This program definitely helps. You just gotta come in, you gotta pay attention, you just gotta work real hard. It's not gonna be completely fixed right away, but it's definitely gonna get better. And your voice, just the main thing. Like, you just gotta keep talking. You gotta go out and talk. You gotta use the things that Roman and Anna have taught you and just apply it to everyday life. Don't forget about it.
Yes, Darin, you are 100% correct, because our program is not some kind of a magic pill. It is a very intensive educational course, and no one should expect any miracles here. In order for you to achieve really dramatic changes in your speech, you, not anything or anybody else, must work really hard. We, your teachers, show a shortcut to you. We guide you, enable you in achieving your goal as soon as possible. We are here like conductors that indicate the right way for you to go, but you must do the walking on your own. As long as you are with us on our side and follow our directions precisely, you will definitely reach your destination of a normal speech. However, if you leave us and stop following our directions, you will not reach this destination of normal speech. The best student is a humble student, the one who follows directions as precisely as possible. And as soon as a student executes every task that the teacher gives him, then the results are achieved very rapidly, very soon.
For all the people that I've worked with in the Army that remember me, this has really helped me. I'm definitely going to go out more and talk to more people. I'm not as afraid as I used to go out and voice my opinion. And now I'm just looking for ways to go out and talk. So, and at first, before I started, there was no way I would have done any of this stuff. It was not fun for me at all. Now my goal is to like always compete against myself and to try to make my speech better, to try to go out and to talk more. And whenever I get an opportunity to talk, like I just want to talk to people.